If you're watching this, you've probably moved past the basics and you're around the intermediate levels of English, being B1 or B2. So good job. Congratulations. If you're at one of the intermediate levels of English, you can most likely hold a conversation and speak at a useful level. You can most likely understand most of, if not everything that I'm saying in this video and my other videos. And you can probably even watch English media and understand most of it without any subtitles. But unfortunately, for most of you, you have probably hit a wall or a plateau, and this is what we call intermediate hell or the intermediate plateau. Intermediate hell or the intermediate plateau probably applies to you right now if you're still consuming a lot of new vocabulary words, you're still consuming a lot of new English media, but you still feel like your level of English is around the same and it's not really getting significantly better. You have probably tried a lot of different methods. Maybe you tried using tutors, maybe you tried using a course in the past, and it's still never really got you up from the intermediate levels, much closer to the upper B2 level or the advanced C1 level. If you've been trying different methods for months or maybe even years, then stick around because in this video, I'm going to show you why you're still stuck at the intermediate levels of English and specifically what you need to do if you actually want to get up to the advanced levels of English. Now, for context, I know exactly what you're going through. I myself was also stuck in the intermediate hell when I had to learn a new language, being the French language. After the initial improvement from around the A1 level up to around B1 or B2 levels of French, it felt like I just wasn't making any more progress after that because I was trying to take the same approach that I was using before to get to the advanced levels. And unfortunately, that's not how that works, especially not with English. I was doing more of everything when it came to improving my grammar, vocabulary, reading, listening, writing, and speaking, but it really felt like I wasn't really making any meaningful progress. I remember conversations where I would almost understand everything, but I'd completely stumble over my words or I'd be inarticulate as ever when I actually needed to express myself in real, meaningful situations. But the worst part of all was not really having a clear path forward. I didn't really know exactly what I needed to change to actually get the results that I wanted. And it also wasn't really that clear when I was just looking it up on the internet. And I'm sure a lot of you watching this video who are at the intermediate levels of English probably feel like it's basically impossible to get up to the C2 level of English, or at least it's probably almost impossible to do it in a reasonably short period of time. And this really depends on what your approach is to learning English and then how much time you can actually spend putting forth to doing it. But once I reevaluated the approach I took and the way that I learned, I was successfully able to get my level of French up to the C1 level of French. And I'm going to show you how you can get up to the C1 level of English by following these same core principles that apply to really learning any language. Now, the first principle involves passive versus active skill development. The second involves exiting your comfort zone in very specific ways, which I'll explain pretty soon. And then the third involves giving yourself a feedback loop, also in very specific ways that I will outline very shortly. So first of all, passive versus active skill development. This may seem very obvious, but a lot of you guys at the intermediate levels of English still continue to fail to do this. You need to change the ratio of how much you practice your listening and reading skills versus your writing and speaking skills. Your listening and reading skills are observation skills, very good for going from the beginner levels up to the intermediate levels. However, your writing and speaking skills are application skills, which are way more important when you want to go from the intermediate levels of English up to the advanced levels of English. A lot of you guys fail to realize that you actually aren't even practicing your speaking or writing skills very much at all. So the common trope is a lot of you guys consume a ton of English media, whether it's on social media, watching a lot of TV shows and movies. No matter where it is, consuming English media is super easy because most of the media on the internet is in English. And quite frankly, a lot of you guys at the intermediate levels of English barely practice your speaking skills or your writing skills at all. So the next time that you listen to a podcast, watch a YouTube video, or any video, whether it's a short form video or a long form video, afterwards, summarize it out loud. Actually speak out loud, express yourself, and summarize what you just watched in English out loud. If you can do this after every single time that you consume a piece of English media, whether it's short or long, this is going to go a super long way to improving your speaking skills and honestly, just how spontaneously you can actually communicate too. This also goes with reading, whether you're reading subtitles on something that you're watching, whether you are reading a book or an article online somewhere on the internet, whether you're reading a response from Chat GPT, you need to also practice formulating a written response to whatever you just consumed. So, to put it very simply, every time you listen to something and or read something, practice writing a response and speaking a response right afterwards. If you can do this every single time, it will make a huge difference and it will speed up the process to you becoming a better English speaker. And the best part about actually practicing your application skills, being speaking and writing, is that as you're doing it, you will very quickly be able to see the gaps in your communication skills and what you are comfortable with expressing and what you are not comfortable with expressing. And this gives you an opportunity to address it and then actually improve. And as you keep improving, you will eventually get to the advanced levels of English. Now, the second principle involves exiting your comfort zone. This means you will need to intentionally put yourself in situations that challenge you. Now, for the first principle, it's very easy to use techniques like shadowing, for example, to practice your speaking on your own. But if you want to really get to that advanced level of communication and speak about more sophisticated topics, then you will need to go a little bit above and beyond when it comes to exiting your comfort zone. This means instead of just practicing your speaking by yourself, which can work and help you make progress, you will need to go out and actually communicate with some real native English speakers, whether it's on the internet or in real life. For example, you can go online and join debates, whether there is a debate about a certain topic in a comment section on a YouTube video that you're watching, whether there is a debate on the website Reddit. No matter where it is on the internet, you can participate in debates. You can go back and forth with people expressing why you believe something is the case and why you believe they're wrong. And just doing this really forces you to exercise your brain to formulate and express opinions about advanced topics. And this is something that's even good for native English speakers like myself. So if you're going to use a strategy or a method that even native English speakers use to improve their English and articulation, then believe me, it really will help you become an advanced English speaker. And then another very easy way to exit your comfort zone is just by communicating with native English speakers about topics that you are less familiar with. If you're going to do this, I would recommend that you find topics that you are actually interested in, that you are just not very well versed in the English language. So, for example, if you are not really familiar with the terminology in the tech world in English, but it is something that you are interested in, then that could be a good topic to go practice your English with and immerse yourself with to actually improve your English skills to be more advanced. Now, exiting your comfort zone can, of course, be uncomfortable, but this uncomfort will lead to growth, which will lead to you improving, which will lead to you eventually becoming an advanced communicator in English. And this leads us to the third principle, which is giving yourself a feedback loop. Now, you don't just want to randomly get your English corrected. You want to actually understand where you're going wrong and how to apply it properly moving forward. An extremely easy way to give yourself feedback would just be by recording yourself expressing your opinion about a video that you just watched. Find a short clip on social media or on YouTube, watch it, record yourself talking about your opinion on what you just watched, stop the recording, and then listen to it back. If you are at the upper intermediate level, somewhere around the B2 level of English, I would say you will probably be at a high enough level where you can identify where you're going wrong and where your weak points are just by recording and listening to yourself speak. If you're more around the B1 level of English or lower, then I would highly recommend getting a native English speaker to critique your current level of English when it comes to speaking, writing, typing, and texting. Because quite frankly, there are just a lot of nuances with English communication that you probably won't understand at the B1, A1, or A2 levels of English. But if you're at the upper B2 level of English, almost at the C1 level of English, you should have enough life experience by then to be able to clearly see where you're going wrong if you record yourself speaking. Again, it is very easy to access native English speakers online if you'd like to use them to get feedback. There are free language exchange applications out there, such as HelloTalk is one example. I used that when I was trying to learn French. I'd help some French people with their English, and they would help me with my French. Also, if you want a little bit of help or if you have a question, you could always just message me on Instagram too, and I will reply once I have the time to get to it. So there you go. I'm a native English speaker who's willing to help you. So that's not an excuse that you don't have a native English speaker who is willing to help you with your English. So to recap the three principles, the first one is make sure you are working on your active skills at the intermediate level more than you're working on your more passive skills, being your observation skills, reading and listening. You should be spending more time working on your application skills, which are speaking and writing, typing, or texting. The second principle is find ways to exit your comfort zone, specifically when it comes to your application skills, being speaking and writing, typing, or texting. And then the third principle is getting a feedback loop. You can do this with or without native English speakers. It is recommended that you do it with native English speakers because us native English speakers, there are so many nuances to our language that are just not going to be possible for you to really understand, or at least you won't be able to understand all of them if you have only been learning English for a short period of time. So this is really it. If you apply these three principles, you will get out of the intermediate plateau and you will reach the advanced levels of English, being C1 and or C2. Also, one final note, just keep in mind that the C2 level of English is an extremely high level of English. I would say that most native English speakers probably know English closer to the C1 level or somewhere between the C1 and C2 levels of English. But nevertheless, if you still want to pursue the C2 level of English, if you are trying to be a professor or teach English, if you're trying to be a linguistics professional, or you just want to achieve the highest level of English that you can possibly achieve, then this approach and these three principles still do apply, and you still can absolutely attain that goal if you apply the three things that we covered in this video. And if you got any value at all from this video, be sure to like the video. It will help the YouTube algorithm spread the message to other people as well who are trying to improve their English skills. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know where you're from and what your native language is. I am always super curious to know. And if you have any questions, I'll be sure to answer them as well. And also, for those of you who want more clarity, I will be releasing a free training on how to achieve the advanced levels of English by yourself from anywhere in the world, no matter where you are. So if you'd like to check that out and join the waitlist, I will leave a link somewhere in the pinned comment or the description below. Also, if you ever want to surpass the intermediate levels of English, you will need to know how to actually think in English and not translate in your head back into your native language. So, if you want the best insights on how to do that, be sure to watch the next video on the screen.